Hunt Palmer, the LSU Sports Radio Network. 6 o'clock tomorrow kickoff, which means your pregame cranks up on the network at 4 p.m. Immediately when the game goes final, those guys will take to the air for 90 minutes. Hunt Palmer will be there on the LSU Sports Radio Network and with us every Friday here on Off the Bench. This game has not moved the meter all week at all for anyone. How do you feel about LSU taking on the Hogs tomorrow inside Tiger Stadium?
Well, twofold. One, I haven't looked at anything on Arkansas all week because I don't care. They're awful. Second, it is cool, and I think that everyone needs to kind of realize, because I haven't taken this for granted, they're going to win the West tomorrow, and that's a big deal.
That is cool.
That's a really big deal. There are very rare times where you walk in that stadium and you can kind of smell the national championship possibility.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone thinks about it in September or whatever, but once you get past Alabama, essentially, for the last decade, you can feel it. And you could feel it in the 11 game against Arkansas, and you'll be able to feel it tomorrow, and you'll be able to definitely feel it next week, and that'll be one of the best environments ever in Tiger Stadium next week, I think. But that's something that we don't need to take for granted, and it's going to be cool tomorrow.
It's been a long time since you've gotten to go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
And you will wrap that thing up tomorrow. And I remember being a part of teams that when you did finalize that journey, it felt incredible. Like, I remember being a part of drives where you're in the huddle and you're telling yourself before that drive, like you're talking to the team, everybody's talking to each other, like, let's go. Let's get to ATL. That's what this is for. So that's a great point, Hunt. That's actually why yesterday we were unsure if we're going to the game. I have fully committed to going to this game. I want to honor this team like the conquering heroes that they are returning home.
No, and they deserve it. They've been unbelievable for 3 months now, and tomorrow's going to be cool.
So you'll see some new faces. Yesterday, Ogeron said it is.
My center fielder.
Yes, Mo Hampton. We'll get the start at safety. Other than Hampton, for you, who are you looking forward to seeing?
Let's see. I think that it'll be a nice second half for the freshman running backs. And I think that it's important that those guys get in there and play a little bit. Clyde, I've never underestimated an LSU football player like I underestimated Clyde. But I do think that it's important that 3 and 4 get going tomorrow, and I think that you'll see a good bit of them tomorrow.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing some of those wideouts. Trey Palmer getting some more.
Cousin Trey?
Oh, yeah.
Love Cousin Trey.
Nice job. I should have seen it before that you and Trey Palmer related. I mean, the natural athleticism.
Yeah, the speed.
That you both possess.
Open field vision.
Fantastic. Do y'all want to play a game that may expose us a bit on this Arkansas game?
Oh, no. Yeah, I guess.
Can you name 3 Arkansas players?
Oh, I can name 3 quarterbacks. That's all I got.
Stephen Jones.
John Stephen Jones, Ben Hicks, and Nick Starkle, plus Rakeem Boyd from the Netflix show.
Rakeem Boyd. I had Rakeem Boyd as my ace in the hole.
Dude, I couldn't even remember Boyd.
From the Netflix show?
I was racking my brain.
He was on that
he was on Last Chance
U.
I just like how he calls it
Isn't there a
Netflix
Louisiana
show.
linebacker?
Probably.
Osha Peters or something?
Dijon? Is there a Dijon at linebacker? Maybe. I don't know.
They're so bad. They're
point being, I don't think I can name a single Arkansas
I'll
player.
admit right now on Sports Talk Radio that if you told me name their interim head coach,
no chance. Absolutely no
I couldn't
chance.
do it.
I know that he played at Arkansas. I know he played at Arkansas.
It starts with an L.
It's a weird last name. But I don't know what it is.
Lejon?
Lonner?
Is there a Lejon?
Lottie?
Looney?
Ooh, that's close. That's
Lunar,
close.
Maybe? I'll look it up.
Okay, so the whole reason I obviously wanted to play this game was to just drive home.
Barry Looney. Barry Looney.
Wow, that is the most interim coach. Like, you are never getting a major, legit head coaching job if your name is Barry Looney. The only way you're getting to be head coach is if you're an interim head coach. But yeah, this is all to say that, I mean, it just drives home. Tomorrow is less of a game and more of, like Hunt said, a coronation.
Yep.
Like, you're going there because there's now beer in Tiger Stadium.
Yeah.
You're going to tailgate all day. You're going to eat delicious foods. You're going to go listen to Nick kill it in the band. You're gonna watch whatever they're doing at halftime. You're going to have fun. You're going to hang out with your friends, your family, and you're going to honor this team for the incredible 10-0 season that it has been up to this point. Hunt, how do you think the defense bounces back tomorrow?
I think they need to have a chip on their shoulder. I
think
mean,
they will.
They have a saying, block out the noise over there. The noise has been quite loud over the last week about how LSU's not as good as Ohio State because the defense sucks. And
sucks. I
Yeah.
mean, they have
And so-
nationally they've just been cut down
if
down at the knees.
If I'm Dave Aranda, I am saying, okay, Stingley and Fulton, y'all got those two guys. The other 9 are going to kill somebody. They're just sending everybody at the quarterback. I mean, heat-seeking missiles all over the place, and just make some plays. Because in all reality, if you do blow a coverage and they hit a 60-yard touchdown, who cares? You're going to score 55 points anyway.
Yeah, nothing matters.
Go do something and blow this thing up, because they've got to start making some plays and starting to feel good about themselves, because A&M's offense will pose a threat next week. Arkansas's doesn't, but I think they need to feel better about themselves after this week.
See, but that's where it gets interesting to me, is that previous to this Ole Miss game, they had a lot of reason to feel good about themselves. They were forcing turnovers. They've played good at spots. Yeah,
That's lost on most of the national media.
I will say this: when the big game knocks on the door for LSU, I'm not concerned about LSU's defense.
I'm not concerned.
I'm not overly concerned
Yes.
about LSU's defense.
Do you agree with this statement? I'm not saying they're great. I'm not saying that. Are they? I believe they are good enough to win a championship.
100%.
Yeah, I think so. I do too. I think what they did in the first half against Alabama was incredible to watch. Now, I totally understand that Tua dropped the ball on the 7-yard line and that Stingley was looking at the sideline.
He was getting tackled.
Right. And so, but they kind of put the clamps on that on that offense for a half. Now, they did nothing in the second half, but there have been spurts. It's not as if you look at the defense and go, they just haven't stopped anybody all year. Like, that's not the case. But they have looked porous at times, which is concerning.
The Oklahoma comparison is embarrassing.
No,
I think nationally, when people look at LSU and they see Oklahoma from years past, I mean, get out of here, man. Oklahoma wishes they had playmakers like Jacoby Stevens, Grant Delpit, and Caleb Von Chasson on their defense over the last couple of years. When the time is right, when the game is there, I think what happened last Saturday night was an anomaly, an outlier. That, yes, it was terrible, 614 yards of total offense, giving it up on the road to a freshman quarterback. That's a bad spot. That's a bad outing. There's nothing good that can come from that. But when the game is there.
I'll tell you who it's bad for.
We all know
it's
about
bad.
John.
It's bad for Arkansas that happened.
Yeah,
in the second half.
I agree. I agree.
All right, so LSU basketball tips off this afternoon in Montego Bay in Jamaica.
For the Jersey Mike's Jamaican Classic.
Yep.
You'll find out what Will Wade has this afternoon pretty early on against a really good Utah State
They
team.
are really good. It's interesting to look at them. They've got 2 7-footers that play.
What?
Their bench is
Utah State.
Their bench is 7 feet, 6'8", 6'8", 6'6", that comes in, and we know what LSU's height is like. So LSU's got to get to the backboard and play. And then I'm very curious to see what Will Wade does with Sam Merrill. He's the reigning Mountain West Player of the Year. He scores 17 a game. He made 18 free throws in a game earlier this year, and he shoots it at like a 40% clip from three. He's a 6'5" senior guard. Is that Charles Manning's assignment? Does he go with Skylar because he's done it more? I'm very curious to see where LSU goes with Sam Merrill. They've had some success with that 2-2-1 trap. I don't think you can zone a team like Utah State that shoots it like they do. So they're going to have somebody go down there and guard a 7-footer who doesn't score very much at all. He rebounds and blocks shots. But you're also going to have to deal with a really prolific scorer on the wing, and I'm curious to see who he puts on him. But they're very good.
What'd you learn the other night against Baltimore, Maryland?
One thing that I liked, and I don't know that it may not translate, but I saw it and it popped to me in a game against a pretty poor team. James Bishop can help this team handling the ball and scoring in 12 minutes a game. He's not going to play 28 minutes in a game, but he can come off the bench and help. And he had looked lost against VCU. First time he'd ever seen anything like that. He, in the second half, played a ton against UMBC, and he had a hesitation dribble, got to the rim for a three-point play. Yep. Next time down, he hits a three. He's a guy in high school whose DNA was 100% scoring, and he's going to have to do a little bit different for this team. Eventually, he's going to be a great scorer for this team, for this program. But this team, he needs to come in and help handle the ball a little bit when Javonte and Skylar get in trouble and with foul trouble or they're turning the ball over, they need a break. And I thought that he did a little bit of that in the second half. So I think that they need to, in the months of November and December, kind of see what he can give you.
Do you expect him to miss Tremont this much?
Kind of. I just felt so comfortable for 2 years with him having the basketball. Yeah. And, everyone goes, well, the Tennessee game. And I'm going, well, yeah, okay, that was really nice, but that ain't 30 games. That's 40 minutes. And so it's a little bit different. They just don't have a real true point guard. And those guys are doing okay, but the 7 turnovers 2 games in a row for Javonte, we just can't have it. You cannot do that. And so the offense is looking different. They were a lot more motion-based than ball screen-based on Tuesday. We'll see kind of what it looks like over the next couple games, because also Rhode Island, they went to Tuscaloosa and put a beat down on Alabama. So they're good too.
Hunt Palmer, the LSU Sports Radio Network, 2 hours before kickoff tomorrow. That'll be 4 o'clock for you for your pregame on the LSU Sports Radio Network. The Eagle 98.1 pregame tomorrow at 1 o'clock. What type of environment are you expecting?
I think those that are there are going to be fired up. The weather's going to clear by lunch, and it's going to be really nice.
We're not sure about that on this show, so just to be clear.
Well, either way, I think it is. And
bring your ponchos just in case.
I think it'll be good. It's not going to be next week.
Yeah,
it's going to be on Springs.
I mean, they're going to want blood in the water.
You want
when
your
A&M
rivalry?
comes to town. Yeah, it's a cute painting in your office, Jimbo.
Yeah. I hate them. I'm out for blood next week.
Well, so is the program.
Well, good. They're going to get it.
Delpit's on the shelf for a week. He'll be back next Saturday.
Yeah.
Hunt Palmer,
Ledeculus,
the
get
LSU
healthy.
Sports Radio Network. He'll be on the air tomorrow at 4 o'clock and immediately following tomorrow's game. As you can also check out the
Hunt, that Arkansas pregame or that Arkansas postgame is going to be rolling, man. 6 o'clock kickoff.
It'll be lit.
I know you got to be hyped.
God, whatever.
Hoops with Hunt.
Hoops with Hunt will be up in about an hour.
Hoops with Hunt, a daily LSU basketball podcast.
Any
You can catch
baseball?
it
Is there any
104.5
baseball
ESPN.
news that
My
we
center
should touch
fielder's
on?
playing safety tomorrow. Get out there and check him out.
All right,
Mo
there we
Hampton.
go.
All right, Roman Harper next.